What's up? What's up? Good afternoon, New York City. How y'all doing today? I'm your host, Juby the Tubi. You're here with family above everything. Welcome back to a Monday. The Knicks lost to the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday on a matinee. They were without R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, Julius Randle. R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, and oh my God, I can't think of the top of my head right now. But they were without a couple of key players yesterday, so we knew coming into this game we were going to lose this game. However, we had a bright spot. Quentin Grimes, Mr. 3 and D. Is he the future 3 and D forward that the team has been missing? I think it's time to let these youngsters take over. Evan Fournier looked horrible. Julius Randle is a shadow of his former self. And Derrick Rose got the start. I like that little lineup they did with Rose and Grimes. I want to see it again with Rose, Grimes, and Julius Randle, Mitch, and R.J. Barrett when that team comes back, when they're all back because of COVID. But welcome. Appreciate you guys showing some love. We're back at another one. I know you guys are wondering what's up with the title. Why is Ben Simmons behind me? I'll get to that in a second. I'm Juby the Tubi. You're here with family above everything. And I'm going to bring my boy here, Zen Ray from Zen Ray Sports TV. And I'll fill you in on the information that I've been hearing today.
Welcome, Juby. Another loss notched on the Knicks belt. They go
Good morning, my brother.
Against mighty Milwaukee Bucks.
What's up, brother? Yeah, listen, we knew that we were not going to come out with a victory in that game. You know, we had some key players missing physically that weren't there. R.J. Barrett, to name one, and Nerlens Noel and Obi Toppin. They're unfortunately in COVID protocol right now. Not to say that they have it, but they got to monitor them and make sure that they're okay. But a couple of bright spots, man. You've been talking about it for weeks. And you spoke it into the universe, Mr. Quentin Grimes. I was just explaining to my chat right now. Is that the future 3 and D piece that the Knicks have been missing? I think you called it, Ray. I think this guy is a diamond in the rough, and he looked it phenomenal. He broke records for 3-pointers made by a rookie. He looked it like he wasn't scared of that spotlight, and I love his attitude. I love his persona, and I think it's time for that change, man. What do you think?
I've been saying it. I mean, you have to start Rose, and I said Grimes can come off the bench, and you can start him if any kind of barring any injuries. And we did have injuries. We did have not injuries. We had two in Barrett and Obi and the COVID protocol, and we had Burks who had his born of a child, so he was on kind of maternity leave for that one day, for that one game at least. So then the next thing is to bring the best defensive guard, because Burks and Quentin Grimes are the best perimeter defensive players on the Knicks. So then you bring Grimes because you need defense. And obviously, he showed right in the beginning. He looked a little nervous. He had a couple of defensive lapses. But after that, he locked down. He played some good defense. And he shot the ball very well. Seven 3-pointers. And he broke the Knicks rookie record for a starter. So yeah. Impressive. And the Bucks are the Bucks. I mean, Chris Middleton scored 24 points, and Giannis had his first triple-double of the season to lead the Milwaukee Bucks to a 112-97 victory over the shorthanded Knicks on Sunday. One of 7 Bucks in double digits, scoring 20 points in Giannis. He had 11 assists and 10 rebounds. That's a leader. And then Bobby Portis Jr., who kind of added salt to the wound. Let's say, you want to get rid of me? I'm dumping 19 points. And that's what Bobby Portis did. And Rodney Hood had 14 points off the bench. Drew Holiday chipped in with 13. Grayson Allen, who always kills us at the 3-point range, at 12.
Duke product.
Netted 10 as well. I mean, every time I see that guy, Garrison Allen and Connaughton open, the ball is going in. Yeah. You can't leave these guys open. These guys are fantastic. So look, this is the leader. This is the leader. The question is, where is our leader? Our leader is sleeping.
Our leader.
I'll let you start off on who's our leader.
Our leader right now, the former leader of last year, is lost in the sauce, like I like to say. He's a shadow of his former self. I don't know what's going on with him. Do I think he has the heart? Do I think he has the physicality? Absolutely. Me and you spoke about it in the past. What he lacks is intelligence and maturity. Because
Energy.
he, he,
Energy. We need energy. We don't
he's
have it.
he's just lost in the sauce. Mr. Julius
Right.
Randle, I think personally, I think his days are numbered. Salute to you guys in the chat. I know why you guys are here. You guys probably saw my title about Ben Simmons. I'll get to that in 1 second. There's a reason I have this man right behind here. But right now, Derrick Rose, 100% is the leader of this team, and I'm happy he got the start yesterday. I know that this guy Alex Burke is on COVID protocol, and I said it
So
since the
Burke was
beginning.
on maternity. His wife
He
had
was
a
on
child.
he was on maternity leave, so congratulations to him and his family. All the best. But we said it since the beginning, Ray, that Derrick Rose needs to be the starting point guard of this team. I understand he can't give you 40 minutes, but he can still give you 25. You can start him and finish him, and then you can back him up with Alex Burke if you want, or Emmanuel Quickly. And Julius Randle can try to play his point forward like he likes to do every now and then. But the only bright spot that I saw about that game, well, two bright spots. Number one was Quentin Grimes, hands down, phenomenal rookie game, standout game for him. I love what I saw, intensity, even on the defensive end when he was guarding Giannis, which is a superstar. He didn't look like he was intimidated nor scared. But Mr. Kevin Knox, let's not leave Mr. Knox out there, was hitting his jump shot, was hitting his three-pointers from the corner, and is making us think twice that, listen, you got to play me because this is what I can bring you to the table. I don't know if we have room for him or if we're just showcasing him to other teams. That's a possibility. But this man that I'm that's standing right behind me, is available. I've been told that the Knicks have entered the NBA sweepstakes on Ben Simmons. If you want to look up the article, there's several articles today that was posted about 10:30, 11 o'clock, saying that the Lakers and the Knicks have entered the Ben Simmons sweepstakes. Now, what will it take to get a Ben Simmons here to New York? Do we want a Ben Simmons here? Do we want a Ben Simmons here in New York? These are the questions as Knicks fans and as NBA fans that we want to think about, and what will it take to get this man here, to give him the keys to the city.
I totally agree. Look, I all the way. If Ben Simmons and we can back some for Ben Simmons, and we don't have to touch our young studs. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers right now. Kevin Knox, they all said that he could be a late bloomer, and I think now he's feeling comfortable with that second unit. And he's comfortable with the young team around him. Look, if you put up Kevin Knox 29 minutes compared to Fournier's 27 minutes, Kevin Knox in 29 minutes of play, 6 for 15 from the field, 5 from 12 from 3, 1 from 2 from the free throw line. He had a total of 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and he had 18 points. Now, the only scary part I look, and I'm gonna jump into Rose. Rose had 37 minutes of play. That's something you don't want to do too much. That's
crazy.
why Ben Simmons will be here so perfectly. You can't give Rose these minutes. I don't know why they did it. They thought maybe they can come back in that game yesterday. I didn't think they didn't have a shot. But Rose is the leader of the team, like you mentioned. So Let's get back to the youth system. Knox, Grimes, McBride eventually, Quickly, Obi. These are your future Knicks. These are the guys you have to play. So you have to find a way. The dead wood is Kemba. I'm sorry, Randall is not playing the way he should be playing. So if they want Randall and have their center and use him as a power forward, Philly down low is going to be very tough to be dealt with. I don't know if they go for a Randall. They're probably going to want one of our young studs. And that's what I'm afraid about in this deal. I'll give you the number 1 picks. I'll give you Randall. I'll give you a Mitchell Robinson or Noel. You take your choice. Who
to you is expendable from the young core right now? If you got rid of Julius Randle and you have to give up somebody from your young core, who would you give up right now to get a Ben Simmons here? And I'll give you my answer once you answer this question.
Wow. You know, at this point, if I had to pick somebody after the game he had last night, I think Knox. I mean, Knox. I think will be a value for a lot of teams. But that will be my only guy I would give up in that youth system. And maybe Manovich from the G League. He's playing well. If you want to get some young studs, I'll give you just two guys there. And throw in Randall and throw one of our centers and see if that'll bite them. But they don't need a center. They don't need a center, so they're not going to go for a center. So they're going to ask probably for a Barrett. They're going to ask for Obi.
No, I don't think that. I think a Julius Randle, some draft picks, and the name that I'm going to tell you right now is probably going to ache you to your stomach, but I'm going to explain why I think this is going to happen. They have a player like Emmanuel Quickly on their team already, so they don't need Emmanuel Quickly, right? Who I think they might be interested in, and I hate to say it, is McBride. And why I'm going to say McBride is because McBride is tearing up the G League. But if we get a Ben Simmons here who's still fairly young, and we have an Emmanuel Quickly, that's your two young point guards that are going to run this team. And then you don't really have no use for a McBride, even though I don't want to trade him because I want to see potentially what he can bring. But I see Philly asking for a McBride, Julius Randle, some draft picks, Kemba Walker to make the salaries work. And I would love for them to take Evan Fournier and get him the hell out of here, in my opinion.
Yeah, Fournier, they'll try that. I don't know what Ben Simmons' contract is. So you have to match contract. I don't think they'll want a Fournier. I think Randle will be there. And the thing about McBride, so Ben Simmons can be your starter. Rose can be your backup. McBride can be the future backup of the team. I don't know if they want McBride or Quickly, but at this time, I'll let the Knicks organization deal with that. You have Obi start eventually if this drill comes in. You have Ben Simmons rejuvenated with a new team. You have Grimes as your 3-and-D player. You have Barrett, and then you have Mitchell Robinson. I think that lineup is pretty scary in terms of that. And then Fournier, I don't know what to do with Fournier. Fournier right now I give Fournier the benefit of the doubt once you get a point guard here. I think Fournier will be a better player. There's no fluidity in this game because the Knicks' offense is pretty one-dimensional. So you don't know what's going on yet.
One-dimensional. Let's just be honest. Right. They want to just hoist up 3-pointers, and if they're on, they're on. If they're not, they're not, and they're gonna lose the game. Interesting thing about Ben Simmons is that he's not a great shooter. But we don't need him to be a great shooter if we got the shooters on our team. Well, we need him to be as a great passer, which he is, a great driver, which I think he is, and I think with him and R.J. Barrett and Obi Toppin, not to mention that Ben Simmons can play multiple positions. That's why it's such a good thing about him. He plays power forward and point guard.
He plays good defense, yeah.
Good defensive player.
Yeah, good defensive player. But Tibbs loves guys who drive to the hoop, and Ben Simmons will be doing a lot of that. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's going to have to take that 10-footer, that 12-footer.
Yeah.
He's not a 3-point specialist, but he has to stretch the defense at least a little bit to make it honest. So it's a couple of those, small jump shots. But in terms of hitting the three, obviously he's not there yet with that. And eventually I think he will get that. It took Rose a while to be an effective 3-pointer. So maybe it'll take him a while as well. I'm looking at the Knicks stats, and Randle again led the team with 7 turnovers. He didn't have point wise. He was horrible. He hit the boards. He had no interest of shooting the ball. He was passing the ball, and maybe that's good because that's what maybe get Grimes his 27 points last night. So in that sense of it, but if you're the leader of the team, you have to shoot more than 9 times. 3 for 4 from the free throw line. He had 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 block. 7 turnovers. If you're the leader of this team, and the Knicks needed you last night, yesterday afternoon, because where were the Knicks getting the scoring from? So he shot away from that. He had he had a nice block shot on Giannis from behind. But besides that, he looked like, you would figure that Grimes and Knox would have a good game. You would think he could be happy coming over to them and, hey, guys, great, get the energy off him. He was lifeless. He had no energy. And if you're a leader of the team, you can't set that example. Everybody looks on to you or looks up to you to set the tone. And that's why I think Randall's days are numbered here. His body language, his chemistry says it all. I think it's time for Randall to be in a package and get him out of here. Something's going on in his head. We don't know what it is. So look, if there's a trade there involved, Juby, and Simmons is in the, so if you get Simmons and you throw in Randall and some other players and the draft pick, I'm all for it.
You know what? Well said, man. You hit it right on the nose. I'm a big person when it comes to watching basketball players. I look at their body language, and Julius Randle looked uninterested last night. He when referees called a foul on him, he just made a face and just galloped up the floor with no energy, no enthusiasm. The guy looks like he just got his payday and he does not care what happens right now. And this is what's scary with certain players in the NBA. Once they get their payday, and in every sport, not just NBA, when some of these players get their big payday, they tend to take it down a notch. He was obviously, I don't know what's the difference between this year and last year is. He is not the same player. We know what he can do, skill-wise. But last year you saw him playing, and I think because it was his contract year, he had something to prove. This year he got his money. He knows what he can do if he wants to. And unfortunately, it's just not working here for him. And I think you're right. I think Julius Randle's days in New York are numbered. I think it's only going to get worse, and I've been saying that. Dina Hill, how you doing? Welcome. And I just think it's time for the Knicks to listen to offers. Maybe besides the Ben Simmons trade, maybe we do that trade, and then maybe we do another third team to move some other players around, because this roster, I'm going to say it, and I've been saying it for a week, it's a time to abandon ship. I know that we don't want to look like that, and we want to sit there and say they're going to get it together, but the young core is good. Quentin Grimes, 3-and-D guy, looks fantastic. I definitely want to keep him. Obi Toppin quickly. But, the guys who are established a little bit more, like Julius Randle, Evan Fournier, I'm questioning, man. And Mitchell Robinson, even though a lot of us like him, he's not consistent, and he's on a contract year too. So we gotta, if we can get somebody while his value is still high to make this team better, I think it's time to listen to a lot of teams, because at the end of the day, this is New York. We were here, but we left the building.
Well, last year's record, we're about almost the same as last year's record at this juncture. So I'm going to say it again. We have to get rid of some dead wood. You see what this team is made of. If this team consistently goes without the same product, if you analyze the next 27 games, they're going to have the same record. So this is going to be an under 500 team. I'm sorry, I got my son screaming in the background.
He wants to talk on the show too. Let him talk. Yeah, it's okay.
He's displeased with the Knicks, man. He has his viewpoints too. Yes, he does. So at this juncture, you have to make things happen. You have to bring some young blood, some life in here. So I like everything you said about the youth system. We spoke about this the last several shows about getting Grimes here, McBride, and all these young players, and start Obi. And the only way you're going to start Obi is to get rid of Randle. Not that Randle is this awful player, putting all the blame on chemistry-wise. Oil and water don't mix. We had a show about that. And he is the oil. The Knicks are the Bruce Lee. Water. So we keep the water, we get rid of the oil, and everything will be smoothly with water, man. I'd rather deal with water than deal with oil. I'm sliding and slipping all over the place. Give me water. Get rid of the oil.
We just got to see if Philly will be interested in him. Listen, Philly is. I think they can use him. I think a team of Joel Embiid and a Julius Randle, maybe a Kemba Walker that's gonna be a veteran presence backup for that young guy that they got. That's like Emmanuel Quickly. Maybe they're interested in it. Maybe they're interested in Evan Fournier because they lost this JJ Redick to retirement. And Evan Fournier is kind of reminds me of his game a little bit when he's on. So
let me just tell you, you're right about that. Not that you say that. If you give him a Randle and a Fournier, it'd be a lot of money. I don't know what Ben Simmons is making.
He's making a lot. He's making a lot.
So that would inject a lot of offense into your team.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll go for it. That's a lot of money to take back on a trade. If you get rid of one of them, I'm happy. But at this juncture, we'll see what happens with some other trades available out there for the Knicks to make. I have confidence in Leon Rose and the Fantastic Five to do their thing. I'm looking at numbers here, and they dominated. That starting unit dominated. If you look at their point guard, Drew Holiday,
Mm.
at 13 points plus 6. He had
I wanted him a couple of years back.
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
we spoke about him, and of course they decided on Elfrid Payton. And I got to tell you right now, Elfrid Payton, if you ever get a chance to watch in this video, us New Yorkers, we miss you, man. We're sorry. I don't know what it was. We couldn't stand you shooting the ball because you shot 3 for 12, but at least you were a facilitator. You played defense and you ran that offense
What did they say? You don't know what you have until you lose
until
them.
you lose it. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously it is what it is. Now listen, Alfred Payton, I didn't. Knicks fans didn't kind of hated him a lot, and they bashed him every day. I mean, I didn't think he was the cause of the problem. Yes, he was not the solving problem for the Knicks. He didn't solve a lot of problems for the Knicks, but look, I think that the Knicks have to revert back to the defensive mind unit and get some defensive players. It starts with Grimes. It starts with people like that, like Burks. If you put Burks and Grimes in that lineup defensively, wow, your defense. And then you got Barry who plays defense. You have Mitchell Robinson who does his thing. You got Randall who still does his thing as well. I think you can bring the team cohesive together. It's just that, remember, if you bring Obi to the starting lineup, something Obi lacks, and you can hide that. You can hide that. If you got your rest of the team playing defense, you have a guy who doesn't play defense you want them to play, you can hide Obi's deficiencies in defense, but Obi has gotten much better in the defensive end. Free
Yeah.
Obi, like I said, free Obi.
You know, it's funny you said that because last year that's what they when we got Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker, that was the management's mentality. They were saying we were so good defensively last year, and we know that Kemba Walker's undersized. We can take a hit and we can kind of hide him in the offense. I mean, in the defense with his offense. And same thing with Evan Fournier. But there's no defense, there's no offense, and the team is just lost in the sauce. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta say.
you look at Obi. Obi has energy. Grimes has energy. If you look at Fournier and Randall, they just like stoic, like no energy. Well, I guess Fournier once in a while when he gets his threes, he's waving his hands up and down. But we need the young. We need the whole thing about rebuilding is you want to build with the youth system. That's not Thibodeau style. We got away from it a little bit by signing Randall and bringing Fournier here. And this is all Thibodeau's type of thing. He wanted more offense. And remember, Leo Rose cohesively came together, but it's not working. Bring a youth system. Let the young players even throw Knox in there coming off the bench. So if you don't have Fournier, have Knox do the job.
I think I'd rather have Knox than Fournier right now playing basketball anyway, because Fournier looks like he's just, I don't know what he, yo, listen, respectfully, I don't like the guy at all. I was messaging back and forth with my brother yesterday, and I was telling him that if I saw Evan Fournier, I would want to throw something at his face. He just irritates me. His face, his voice, his game, everything about that man just irritates me. I don't want him here.
I was watching something. Yes, I was watching a show yesterday, and somebody called and he said, "Every time I see Fournier play, I feel like punching him in the face."
Yeah. Salute to whoever that person was, but absolutely, and I feel the same way.
Another caller said, "Forget about punching him in the face. I feel like punching myself in the face." It was like, I don't know, man. Now Fournier is getting the brunt. I mean, look, I don't know, man. We're having fun with this. Juby, with 26 minutes in, we didn't go over the stats. I don't even want to go over the stats, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The Knicks, Knox was the bright spot, obviously. Grimes was 27 minutes, 27 points. Knox had 18 and quickly had 11 off the bench. Those are the core future players for the Knicks. Grimes had, like I said, 27. Rose had 18. He's the leader. He's the man that I'm going to put the man who stirs the drinks now, because Randall is trying to stir, man, but I think he doesn't know what a drink looks like. I
don't think Julius Randle is no more than I think Julius Randle now is the person that comes and picks up the drinks and washes them, whatever, bar back or whatever that is, because I no longer want to refer to him as the man that stirs the drinks either.
Yeah, I thought I was giving him that title because he was stirring the drinks last year. He lost his way to the bar, I think, and can't find the drinks. He's stirring oil somewhere. I don't know what he's doing, but look, Juby, I got nothing else to say unless you want to say anything else. I have my son screaming in the background, trying to get my attention, so I don't want to cut this short because of that, but I'll leave that up to you.
Listen, you already know what I'm gonna say. It's family above everything, including this show. We love you guys, but keep a lookout. The NBA rumors are gonna start getting hot and heavy. We got Golden State tomorrow. Do I think we're gonna win? Absolutely not. Do I want to see
if they bring the young kids and Obi plays and Grimes plays? I give him a shot because with the energy itself, you can make this game close. Let's make this game close and let's try to win. If we do that, I'm happy. But if we get blown out like we've been getting blown out the last few games, I don't want to see a show like that. You know,
most definitely.
We're not going to win. I don't think we're going to beat them at Golden State. That's a lot to ask for a team who's in disarray like the Knicks. With that said, Juby, let the universe enlighten those Knicks and making the right moves, enlighten you and your family as well, and my family as well, knowing that the best is yet to come with passion, peace, love, and gratitude. With that said, Zen Ray out. We'll be speaking again. Their next game is on
tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
Golden State. Okay. That's a tough game to watch. We'll be on the following day. That's a late game. And we'll go from there, Juby.
All right, brother. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your time with your family. And we'll talk. Go New York. Go New York. Go.
Go New York. Go New York. Go.
Later, brother.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That was Zen Ray from Zen Ray Sports TV. He's going to go and chill with his son before he has to go to work. But things are going to start picking up. Like I said, Ben Simmons, the man right behind me. It's a hot topic right now. Google it yourself. Put in NBA rumors, and you'll see that the Knicks have entered the sweepstakes for him. This is not going to be the final team that we have. I anticipate before the NBA trading deadline, especially if we keep playing the way we're playing, things are going to happen. But I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your Monday. It's not too bad out there. Stay safe. And as always, family above everything. Stay safe, guys. Peace.
We are the New York Knicks. 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 Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. We're back on track, here we come. League is coming 21 and the Knicks are on a run. And I'll tell you with Tibbs, we a bit too much to handle. With Barrett, Bullock, Burst, and Randall, it's a Knicks and we're taking back our place. Everyone's gearing up with a mask on their face. The guard's going crazy and they're doing it for a reason. 21 is a Knickerbocker season. You better believe the Knicks got all that it takes. We're shooting 3-pointers and we're running fast breaks. If your defense makes a mistake, then bam! Robbie Duncan's in your face. This is a team you don't want to miss. We are New York. We are the New York Knicks. Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go! Say go New York, go New York, go!